great change. Ho Chi Minh, father of the country, is a memory.
Don't want to make them too wide, Charles.
Vietnam is rejoining the world. Hanoi has sprouted hotels, mobile phones, English language newspapers, and cricket. English expats v Indian expats.
Okay.
I'm asked to come along, watch the game and spin the coin.
Head. And it's tails.
Tails.
I'm
Tails.
afraid.
Black.
There we go.
Okay, well, I think we'll bat.
It's a chance to find out more about the policy the Vietnamese call Doi Moi, new thinking. But old thinking reasserts itself as our cameras are ordered to be switched off. Our stills photographer keeps going. They're not interested in cricket, they're interested in us. England not only have to cope with fierce Indian bowling, but a Vietnamese military build-up as well. The officer in charge rings his supervisor. He calls for reinforcements. International diplomacy is brought to bear. The British embassy is informed. India House is put on red alert. The Pentagon will call us back. The Vietnamese arrive in force. We retreat. What's happened is that the only pitch where they can play in Hanoi is actually on land owned by the Vietnamese Air Force over there, and filming the cricket match was deemed to be a threat to national security. The Vietnamese do not look a warlike people, yet they've fought like tigers for the last 50 years against the French, the Americans and their allies, and the Chinese. Now they can live the way they want to. Banners across the road proclaim the message of socialism, but the shop fronts proclaim the message of the market. In the Vietnam War, this prison, where captured Americans were interrogated, was known mockingly as the Hanoi Hilton. Now it's part of a property development, from which a real Hanoi Hilton may one day rise. Where Americans were once tortured, they will one day come to be pampered. Despite the changes, an air of wartime austerity still hangs over Hanoi, and the railway station undoubtedly smacks of a more comradely era. Which way to the train for Saigon? This way? Here? You don't want it? Okay.
Quý khách có vé đi tàu vào hẳn trong toa, ổn định chỗ ngồi để đoàn tàu chuyển bánh.
I'm leaving on the Reunification Express, southbound for Ho Chi Minh City, which most of those who live there still know as Saigon. Its average speed for the distance is 25 miles an hour, so there's no rush. The Vietnamese coast curls gracefully along the South China Sea. The railway follows it for 1,250 miles on the long haul from Hanoi to Saigon, from where, God willing, I shall eventually strike east to the islands of the Philippines and Borneo. At mid-morning next day, various delicacies are prepared for lunch. Pork is unwrapped from banana leaves. There are prawn fritters and raw vegetables and something in a bucket. We're crossing the Ben Hai River, the border of the old demilitarized zone. We're now in what I grew up calling South Vietnam. The scars of war have been quickly covered by this fertile landscape. But the main highway is still woefully inadequate for a country that hopes one day to become a Pacific tiger. And this railway, the main link between north and south, is still only single track.
tranh thủ một vài phút nhảy tàu tránh xảy ra tai nạn. Đoàn tàu S3 dừng bánh tại ga Huế 25 phút.
400 miles south of Hanoi, we pull into the city of Hue. Tourists are welcome in Vietnam these days, but fare dodgers are definitely not. The old imperial city lies on the Perfume River. One of the fiercest battles of the American War took place here, and the central span of this bridge was bombed into the river. Today it's busy all day long, as is every other thoroughfare in this crowded land. If you want a bit of peace and quiet, I recommend the Forbidden Purple City, seat of the emperors. What happened to the royal family? I mean, presumably, are there any of them still alive?
As I know, the last emperor, our last emperor Bao died. He's still alive in France now.
Oh.
He's about 83 years old.
And is there anyone in Vietnam want him back to rule the country?
I don't think so. According to my opinion, I think he's only now in our mind.
Yeah.
He's the king of the past.
King of the past.
Yeah.
This is good.
Yeah. Here is the bell.
Made of...
Made in under the time of the second king Minh Mạng.
My guide, Miss Hong, explains that this was the religious and cultural center of all Vietnam. But as we move from the gatehouse and through to the heart of the temple, I'm in for a shock.
So now we are at the center of the Forbidden Purple City, where the royal family used to live inside here.
There's nothing here at all. It's all gone. The French started the work of destruction, and the Americans finished it off. It's as if the Forbidden Purple City had sprouted wings and flown away. The Perfume River is Hue. People drink it, wash in it, fish in it, and live on it. I've hired a sampan to take me out on it. Progress is picturesque, but pretty slow. It's not as easy as it looks, is it? That's difficult, I think. It's difficult for someone to understand all the turning, yeah. You can start the engine now if you want. Okay? Start the engine now. No, seriously. You can now start the engine. Director says, yeah, he says, start engine now. I mean, what do I have to say? So, where is the engine? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, can you start it now?
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good. Now.
Now.
Yeah. Right.
And in the here the motor
Yes.
motor.
I'll go here and you start it. Okay.
No.
Yes. Once we're underway, there are no problems. That is, until we have to stop. Oh, yeah. Turn the engine off. Kill engine. Stop engine now.
Yes.
Okay? No. Good. Stop engine. Yeah, stop it now. Okay? I can't do this. Will you stop engine now?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll move this.
Oh, here.
Yeah, that's right. Move this. Yeah, that's it. All right, can you turn it off? My destination is the Tien Mao Pagoda that has stood here for 400 years. But in the Buddhist monastery next door to it, I discover something much newer and infinitely more macabre. This is probably the most famous Austin motor car left in the world today, because it was in this car that a monk from this monastery was driven to Saigon one day in 1963, and he set alight to himself in protest against the way the Buddhists were treated by the Saigon government at the time. It was a world-famous photograph was taken of the monk And in the back of the photograph, there is a picture of this very car. And it's really kind of weird to see it here, a photo that one knows so well. It's also rather strange because my father had a car exactly like this, same colour, same make. I mean, I went to school in a car like this. Next morning, the heavens open in style. 80 days away from the Arctic Circle, we're in monsoon country. Today we continue our journey on the next reunification express southbound out of Hue. When the French were booted out of Vietnam in 1954, they didn't leave much behind, but they did leave a railway. And their word for railway station, gare, has somehow survived. The train slows as it toils up from the narrow plain to Hai Van, the pass of the ocean clouds. The mountains come close to the sea here, and at Da Nang is the most famous of them all, Marble Mountain. Hello. It's at the foot of Marble Mountain that I meet Miss Tan.
Would you like to buy something?
What are they?
This one,
Oh, they're just
lion.
bits of, they're
Yeah.
marble, little marble to...
Yeah, this is Marble Mountain.
Yeah. I'd like to see the mountain.
Yeah, this way up.
Yeah? You know how, where do I go? Just keep going?
Yeah, keep going and go left.
Will you show me what
Yes,
to do?
okay. You got this way,
Okay.
157 steps up.
I may not buy anything, I
Yeah,
warn you
no
that.
problem.
I'm very, very
Don't
mean.
worry, be happy.
Be happy, yeah. I'll be
You got
happy.
this way, later you go down in holiday.
How do you learn, where do you learn your English?
At school.
It's very good. I don't know many Vietnamese who could say lovely jubbly.
Lovely, lovely.
What else can you say? You
You
say
want to
lots.
learn Vietnamese?
Hmm?
You want to learn speak Vietnam?
Yes. I'd just like to be able to say hello.
Xin chào.
Hmm?
Hello is xin chào in
Xin,
Vietnam.
xin,
Xin chào.
xin chào.
Yeah, that's right.
How often do you do this? How many days a week?
6 days a week.
Really? Every day? All
No.
day?
No, all day. We go to school in morning.
You go to school in the morning? Ah,
Yeah,
of course.
in the afternoon, 7.
Because tell me how old you are?
16 years old.
16, that's right.
Yeah.
And when will you leave school?
22.
22? That's a long education. At the same school, or will you go to university?
University
Where?
in Da Nang City.
Da Nang.
Yeah.
And what do you want to do?
I want to be a doctor.
Ah. So, you can see daylight. So we're nearing the summit. Is that right? It's
Yeah,
not a
right.
big mountain, but it's where it is and what's next to it that's important. Well, that's spectacular.
Spectacular.
Spectacular, as we say in English mountaineering circles.
Here you see 5 mountains.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
Metal,
right. Metal.
wood, small
Yeah.
one.
Wood, yeah,
Fire, 2,
yeah.
earth, and this is water.
This is
You
water,
stay in
so-
water.
Having got up here, have I done some good for myself?
Yeah.
Will the gods smile on me, or?
Here you sit down to be the king chair.
Yeah,
For families, families very lucky and long life.
A long life.
Yeah. For you, old man.
I could do... I think I've had enough, don't you? Quite enough. 52 years, quite enough. I'll try, there might get another 10 years out of it.
Okay, you sit down
I
to be
feel
the
like
king
drink
chair.
anyway. Okay,
Yes,
let's have a
get up.
sit. Thank you, by the way. King's throne, adaptable for all sizes. Ah, oh, that's better. I feel revived already. I feel at least 10 more years I could go on. Yeah. Let's make this a 25-part series in CinemaScope. Get rid of those mountains. I've got a beer. Oh, thank you. I think this country will be a great success. There's always someone around with exactly what you want. Miss Tan is very likely to be a future president. Her fluency in English makes my dumbness in Vietnamese quite shaming. And she's incredibly well informed. Marble Mountain, I'm learning, is much more than it seems. It's a holy place and a military stronghold. But Miss Tan will not let me leave until she's shown me its darkest secret. Wow, I can see what you mean. I need your hand. It's absolutely pitch black and very slippery.
Be careful, slippery.
Here we are. Oh, I can see now, yeah.
Water.
Ooh. Hey.
This is for God, too good and too evil.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this one good God to heaven and evil God to hell.
These are the guardians that you find at the entrance to any Buddhist temple.
Yeah.
So this is a working temple. Do people come and worship here?
Yeah, many people come to worship Friday Buddha.
And there's the altar.
Live qua này, live.
That's extraordinary.
And this Holy War American bomb.
Hmm?
This is the Holy War American bomb.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
So
before.
The American bomb made that hole?
Yes. Before 1968, on this Cadet War Hospital. And after American bomb down.
Yeah. There was a
Yeah.
hospital here
Yes,
during
before.
Vietnam. After that, I need some fresh air. I take a walk on nearby China Beach, once a favoured haunt of off-duty American troops. Now there's only the roar of the ocean for company. Or so I thought. American forces may have gone, but the sight of a lone Westerner without a seashell or a slice of mango is just too much for the local children to bear. I'll tell you, now I've got 5,000, 15,000, there we go. 15,000. There we go, all right. There's 20,000 and I have his as well. Okay, all right, thank you. Thank you, kids. Bye. All right, make sure she gives you the money. I'm on my way to Vietnam's deep south and one of the world's great rivers, the mighty Mekong. After its 2,500-mile journey, the Mekong forms a huge delta here. These are fortunate people. The river deposits enough mud on Vietnam to increase the size of their country by 200 feet a year. And what's more, it's high-quality, well-traveled mud. So there are probably a few grains of Tibet in here because it rises in Tibet, rather large chunks of China, huge bits of Laos, chunks of Cambodia, but it's now incontrovertibly all this mud belongs to Vietnam and it forms one of the most profitable agricultural areas in the world. So where there's mud, there's brass, as they say in southern Vietnam, not in that sort of accent, but you know what I mean. This being Vietnam, a little bit of water doesn't stop people buying and selling. These dugouts become shops and shopping baskets. And this being Vietnam, you can find almost anything you want. How much are the snakes? Are they pets or are they to eat? Getting into difficult water here. What, $100 for each? $200. Well, I think we'll keep looking. I don't just want to buy a snake, you know, without checking out. Are they poisonous? They're not poisonous. Why would I want them? Apart from to eat. From this little delta town dominated by a Catholic church, it's a short hop to Tay Ninh province, home of one of the world's newest religions. It's called Cao Dai, and it was invented by a civil servant in 1926. This splendidly designed religion is a sort of spiritual curry containing a little bit of everyone else's religion. The writer Graham Greene was so taken with it, he seriously considered becoming a convert. In the foyer of the Great Temple is a mural depicting 3 of Cao Dai's patron saints: Chinese revolutionary and statesman Sun Yat-sen, Vietnamese poet Nguyen Binh Kiem, and Victor Hugo, author of Les Miserables. Spirits play an important part in Cao Daism, and messages have been received here from Joan of Arc, William Shakespeare, Louis Pasteur, and Lenin. Despite this all-star cast, Cao Daism has not made much of a mark outside Vietnam, nor, to be honest, outside Tay Ninh province. As we draw closer to Saigon, we pass an extraordinary relic of war. And this area here, this underground area, so it has a hospital. What else does it have? What other facilities?
It's connected to the meeting room.
These are the Cu Chi tunnels, a 100-mile underground network built to house guerrilla armies fighting the French and the Americans. Despite being blasted with bombs and raked with defoliant, they were never destroyed in 35 years of warfare.
What was this? You can see here the fighting bunker of guerrilla forces before.
How many people could be hidden underneath the earth and these tunnels at any one time?
Normally about 5,000 guerrilla forces can stay inside the tunnel one time.
Before I expire, can I explore a little on my own?
Okay.
Is that allowed?
Yes,
Okay.
please.
All right. I won't go far, but I'll try this one down here.
Yeah.
Well, this leads to another fighting bunker.
Come to another,
Yeah.
not
Okay.
fighting bunker, another room.
All right, another room. All right, I'll see what that's like. Here we go. People lived here for up to 2 weeks. 2 minutes are enough for me. I head straight for the emergency exit. Hello, Ratty. Hello, Molly. I'm obviously not cut out to be a guerrilla fighter, otherwise I'd have closed the door behind me. I find little resentment among the Vietnamese about the war. Maybe it's because they won. But this museum of war crimes in Saigon shows they won't forget. There's one particularly gruesome exhibit, a guillotine, bequeathed by the French, last used against the Vietnamese in 1960. If I were ever to make a series of great post offices of the world, this one would have to be included. Uncle Ho beams down as I write all those postcards I've been putting off for weeks. Dear Helen, dear Rachel, dear Tom, dear Will, only 9 months to go. Happy Christmas. It's time to leave Vietnam, if I can. My impression is of a small, crowded country riding a high tide of energy and confidence. A country where there's no point in shouting stop. No one will hear you.